Genesis 12 begins with a call that shakes Abram's world to its core. Leave everything. God commands him to leave his land, his people, his father's house, and journey into the unknown. But this isn't just a command, it's a promise. God vows to make Abram into a great nation, bless him, and give him a name that will echo through the ages. And through Abram, every family on earth will be blessed. It's a moment that promises to alter the course of history. With faith in his heart, Abram obeys without question. By verse 4, Abram is already acting on God's word. He packs up his life, taking Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his nephew, along with all their possessions, and sets out for Canaan. This isn't just a journey, it's an adventure of trust. They leave the familiar behind, stepping into the unknown, with the assurance that God's promises will guide them every step of the way. As they arrive in Canaan, the land God promised them, God makes an appearance again in verse 7, reaffirming the promise, "This land is for your descendants." Abram's response? He builds an altar right there, marking the spot where God has spoken. The land may be unfamiliar, but the presence of God feels like home. He worships, acknowledging that this journey is not just physical, but deeply spiritual. In verses 8 to 9, Abram moves on, continuing his journey eastward. Between Bethel and Ai, he builds yet another altar, calling on the name of the Lord. His life is now defined by faith, worship, and obedience. He's not just moving through the land, he's leaving a trail of altars, symbols of his deepening relationship with God. But then a trial comes in verse 10. A famine strikes the land, and suddenly, Abram faces uncertainty. The promised land is no longer a safe haven, it's a harsh reality. Forced to make a difficult decision, Abram travels to Egypt for refuge. This is where fear starts to creep in. In verse 11, worried that the Egyptians might kill him to take Sarai, he lies, saying she's his sister. It's a moment of human weakness, but God's grace is still evident. Pharaoh's officials take Sarai, and Abram is rewarded with wealth. But things take a dramatic turn in verses 17 to 20. God intervenes. He strikes Pharaoh's household with plagues, exposing the truth about Sarai. Pharaoh, furious with Abram's deception, sends them both away, richer than before, but humbled by the experience. Abram returns to Canaan, not just with riches, but with renewed faith. Every step of his journey, from the altars to the trials, has shaped him. He's not just a man following a promise. He's becoming the father of a nation, and his journey is just beginning. Genesis 12 ends with Abram stronger, wiser, and more certain of God's power, his trust in the divine unfolding every step of the way.